Greetings, entertainment lovers. We know that this time of semester can be really stressful. But as long as your grades didn't make like Batman v Superman and drop 66%, you'll be okay. In the meantime, we've got a great show ahead. We've got Max Lewis with Hollywood Headlines, Whitney Perry with TV News, and a whole lot more.
So get ready to get outgrossed by a bad Melissa McCarthy wig and a DJ Khaled cameo, because from Ball State University, the real deal starts now.
Hello and welcome to The Real Deal, Ball State's one and only entertainment news show. I'm Aiden Hall.
And I'm Sunny Clark. Welcome to the 20th episode of this season, everyone.
We figured this is noteworthy as this is likely the average age of both our crew and audience.
Anyways, here to kick things off with this week's Hollywood Headlines is Max Lewis. Max?
Well, Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth are officially back together. The pair stepped out together on Monday night to attend the Los Angeles premiere of The Huntsman: The Winter's War, which stars Hemsworth's older brother Chris, and they were spotted inside a theater in Westwood, California. At one point during the evening, they were even seen holding hands. Fans quickly took to Twitter and caught word of Cyrus and Hemsworth outing and began celebrating. Hemsworth and Cyrus first met while filming The Last Song back in 2010. And Steven Spielberg's next project has been announced. Spielberg's next film as director is to be Amblin Entertainment's The Kidnapping of Edgardo Mortora, with Mark Rylance on board to star and Tony Kushner adapting the David Kurtzer novel for the big screen that was published in 1997. Kurtzer's book tells the true story of an Italian Jew who became controversial after being taken from his parents in 1858 at the age of 6, eventually being raised as Catholic and becoming a priest. Sources say Spielberg has been eyeing the project since 2008, and Spielberg is also producing Edgardo Mortora with Mark Platt and Christy McCosco-Krieger. And the plan is to shoot in early 2017, in time for awards season release. And HBO's much-anticipated new film, Confirmation, is set to premiere this Saturday, April 16th. The film is a dramatization of the media storm surrounding Anita Hill's allegations of sexual assault against then Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas in 1991. One of the film's biggest stars is Kerry Washington, playing Anita Hill, a former U.S. Department of Education and Equal Employment Opportunity Commission employee who publicly testified against Thomas shortly before he was confirmed as a Supreme Court justice. Confirmation's supporting cast includes Greg Kinnear as Joe Biden, Jennifer Hudson as fellow accuser Angela Wright, and Modern Family's Eric Stonestreet. The film will premiere on HBO this Saturday at 8 p.m. And that's all for your Hollywood Headlines. I'm Max Lewis.
Thank you, Max. That was quite the lineup. It was insane how many great things are happening in the industry. One may even say it's mad.
Here to explain that forced transition and more is our very own Whitney Perry with this week's scoop in Everything TV. Whitney?
CW has revived Mad TV. The sketch series will be returning for 8 new one-hour episodes on the CW. The original cast members from the late night series will be the hosts of each episode. CW said the new series will star up and coming new comedy voices. David E. Saltzman, who is the executive producer and showrunner, said, "We will continue to present the hard-hitting, laugh-out-loud, wall-to-wall pop culture parody our fans expect, but in a fresh new way. The new version will air in prime time and the premiere date will be announced soon." In Teen Wolf's upcoming season, there is a major cast change that is happening. Arden Cho, who plays Kitsune Kira Yukimura, is leaving the show. The actress made an announcement in a vlog expressing her love for the character and the show. In the video, she says, "I love the cast and crew. It's been an amazing 3.5 years. It's gone by so fast. But unfortunately, it looks like we are wrapped up with Kira's storyline and she won't be coming back for season 6. All you Teen Wolf fans, will you miss Kira?" TV producer and entertainer David Guest was found dead in his London hotel room. His granddaughter took to Twitter to mourn his death. She tweeted, "My heart is broken. Granddad has gone. Last to get a photo with him." Guest was supposed to go on tour throughout the United Kingdom. He was last seen on Celebrity Big Brother. We will miss you, David Guest. That's all for TV Scoops. I am Whitney Perry. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Whitney. We certainly will miss Arden Cho on Teen Wolf. Looks like there will be one less person Michael J. Fox will have the opportunity to dunk over.
I think that the current iteration of Teen Wolf is a little different than the old film, Aiden.
What a shame. Anyway, stay tuned. We've got Danny Yont with a TV review, Hannah Pulver with a review, and more.
Too long to get back up. Meanwhile, we gotta raise Jalen in this mess.
You don't understand how dangerous it is out there.
Y'all need anything? Y'all straight?
We gotta take our streets back. We put our minds together, we gonna get some solutions.
I got so much love for everybody in this neighborhood. Turn that up!
Yeah, this gotta be some of my best work. I bet you he won't be talking back to his mama no more. Give him that George Jefferson.
No.
A way to rout this world. Having your man in my head made me feel things. Right, wrong.
Can you feel what Billy felt?
He loves you so much.
Last chance, or they die.
There's too many lives at stake. They don't matter.
They do to me.
They messed with me. Thought they knew what they'd get. But they were wrong.
If anything happens to that kid, I'll never forgive myself.
Come on, Mowgli. Let's be on our way.
But I'm helping Baloo get ready for hibernation.
Bears don't hibernate in a jungle.
Not full hibernation, but I nap a lot.
Welcome back. With our current culture of remakes and revivals in both TV and film, sometimes it's hard to separate the Fuller Houses from the Fuller Houses, if you know what I mean.
Kind of. Well, we've got Danny Yont on hand to review the second season of a certain legendary meth-based show's spin-off continuation. Danny?
Hello all, I'm here with a review that I've been preparing all season long for. The review of Season 2 for Better Call Saul. This is a season that I was anticipating all year, and I was curious to see how it would pan out. I'm going to try not to spoil much, but be aware that if you're waiting for this season to drop on Netflix, your best course of action would be to tread lightly. What can I say? This season had me just as interested as the last, and from where it left off, I was curious to see what Jimmy McGill, mostly known as Saul Goodman, would do next. And I was brought on a slow but justified journey as the season comes to a close. Spoilers, with Jimmy joining big-time law firm Davis & Maim, we really get to see why Jimmy doesn't belong in the big corporate law firm business. He likes to play by his own rules, and he even tells us that as he's fired. Big brother Chuck is just as big of a D-bag as he was in Season 1, and where we left off with right now, spoiler, we aren't quite sure if he will make it to the end of this season with one episode left. Jimmy has had it with him, and recently has messed with his work brilliantly. Kim Wexler, on the other hand, has been keeping her moral compass pointed in the right direction, although from time to time, I see her wanting to sway towards the way of Jimmy. In the end, I think she'll stay true to her morals. I'm waiting for the split between Jimmy and Kim, and I feel it's coming soon. Mike, on the other hand, has had his hands busy with a lot of drug cartel problems. Tangoing with Tuco Salamanca, he ends up, spoiler, winding up in trouble with well-known Breaking Bad character Hector Salamanca, although Hector in this show seems to be walking and talking just fine. Some other Breaking Bad cameos pop up, but we haven't seen any main characters yet. So, with all this wrapping up next week, I'm sure it'll leave me on the edge of my seat and hopefully leave me with a better conclusion to the season than The Walking Dead left me. Well, that's all for now, and until next time, catch you later.
Thanks, Danny. You know, Yont, you're a pretty good-looking guy, but I think you're missing a little something.
And what would that be?
A white t-shirt, black overalls, and a bowler cap.
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, if the band talked about it in our next segment, would certainly know a thing or two about that.
I'll take your word for it.
Here with a review of the latest Lumineers album is Hannah Pulver. Hannah?
What's better than lemon and ears? The Lumineers. Get it? That joke made a whole lot more sense in my head. But for Rizzle, the Lumineers have recently dropped a new album and it's fantastic. There's something so magical about an artist that sticks to their sounds and roots and refuses to be conformed by the sounds of pop culture. The Lumineers have stuck to their ho-hey sound and created beautiful and moving alternative folky tracks that anyone is bound to love. The release of this album was very quiet, and the news didn't reach the rock that I personally live under until I was searching Spotify for some new songs to listen to. Usually, big artists don't allow their creations to be released online music platforms, but the Lumineers did, and the best part, even the deluxe extra songs made it onto the website, which just adds more to the awesomeness of this artist and their new music. This new album is titled Cleopatra with 15 songs to explore in the deluxe version. There is nothing more exciting than this, people. If you love folky Americana music, this is the perfect album to listen to. It's calming and beautiful, just as the last self-titled album the Lumineers released back in 2013. Cleopatra has a sound that is optimistic, melancholy, but still very, very beautiful, as said before. The lead singer's voice makes you look up to the sky and thank the Lord for such a beautiful voice, and the guitar and other folkish instruments in the background create something that makes you feel. Whether you're a lyrical person or a beat person, these new songs are bound to make you see emotion and wonder, which is something not every album can do. I am beyond excited to learn this album like the back of my hand. I'm going to plan a road trip just to listen to this album with the windows down, waving my arm out the window, and other music video type stuff. If you want to hear this album, check it out on Spotify, YouTube, or of course, support the artist and buy it at a local store or iTunes. What guitar are you waiting for? The fantastic sounds of the Lumineers' new album Cleopatra is right at your fingertips. I hope you enjoy the album as much as I do. Until next time, I'm Hannah Pulver.
Thanks, Hannah. Wow, Cleopatra. Remember when she was bitten by a snake?
Yeah? Why?
You know, it's just weird. Fun history facts and whatnot.
Because that's exactly what people look for when they watch our show.
Did you know that Kim Jong-il has a book or film on film theory?
That's at least relevant-ish. Stick with us. We've got Angelo Rima with the Trailer Watch and more. Welcome back. Say, Aiden, do you know about BFG?
Of course, I played Doom all the time as a kid.
Actually, I'm talking about the upcoming Spielberg adaptation of the beloved children's book, and you're not listening to me, are you?
Sorry, I was thinking about exploding demons to blood 16-bit pulp on Mars.
Anyways, here with the Trailer Watch for BFG and more is Angelo.
So, this week we've seen an abundance of incredible looking trailers for some upcoming films. While some are definitely more notable than others, they're all worthy of a discussion, so I will do the service of breaking them down. First off, we will start with the most significant trailer in the world, the one that everyone thought of when I brought up this topic, the reason that I brought up this topic, the movie that makes me smile and feel like a child inside again, HBO's All the Way. Just kidding, but no, really, we are going to save the best for last and instead start off with some HBO political drama. I'm sorry. But HBO's All the Way does admittedly look fascinating. It stars Bryan Cranston, is essentially just a film adaptation of the Broadway play that will be played on HBO. Cranston portrays Lyndon B. Johnson, and he is looking to pass the Civil Rights Act in the year following the assassination of JFK. Cranston has shown numerous times before, most notably in Breaking Bad, that he is a phenomenal actor, and I have heard nothing but high praise for his performance in this show. So, needless to say, I'm pretty excited to have a better opportunity to witness the show without flying all the way to New York. Get it? Okay. Anyways, next on the list is Disney's The BFG. The BFG, if you didn't know, is about a big fat giant, or a big friendly giant, or big furry giant. I don't honestly know, to be honest, but it is based off of the Roald Dahl book, and it's a very beloved children's story. To be honest, if you didn't notice, I've never really read the book when I was young, but I know a lot of people love it, and therefore, it justifies a movie, I suppose. But to be honest, the film looks like everything you would expect from these remakes of famous material. I want to dub this the Alice in Wonderland treatment or the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory treatment. Just too much focus on CGI, shoving the information down your throats, probably Johnny Depp somewhere in the mix, just ruining everything you admired as a child and making you feel a whole lot more empty inside. Next, finally, why we're all here. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, dropped its first trailer this week, and it admittedly looks as glorious as anticipated. This film takes place before the original Star Wars, or as some would call it, A New Hope, and the story encapsulates how the rebels got their hands on the plans for the Death Star. The film stars Felicity Jones and her ragtag squad of thieves that are almost certainly all going to die horrifically at the end of this film. The trailer, however limited, does show me how much Disney is nailing the acquisition of Star Wars. It all has the feeling of warmth and familiarity to it, really bringing me back to the feeling that I felt while watching the originals as a kid. Now, while I love the movie, a lot of people hate on The Force Awakens and its similarities to A New Hope. And these people will no doubt hate on the fact that this film, in some way or another, does roll off of the hype train surrounding fans of the old films. That being said, it seems so tactical by Disney to start off with these two very familiar films so that it can hopefully tread new water in the coming years after they've all earned our trust. But hey, that's just my 2 cents. When it comes down to it, you know that I will be in the theater on night 1 for this movie, smiling like a kid in a candy shop. So there you go. This has been this week's Trailer Watch. I'm Angelo Oriemo.
Thanks, Angelo. Time to throw the show to commercial.
No, I rebel.
What?
The time has come to steal the plans for Johnson B. Once Furnace Wicker gets out of the bathroom, of course.
You're under quite the delusion there. Aiden Forrest Whitaker transcends the mortal needs to digest food, thus eliminating waste from his system entirely. Last king of Scottendale and all.
Well, upon further consideration, we should probably throw the show to commercial before Johnson B is fully armed and operational.
Stay tuned for the final word.
A bed inside a sofa. That's neat.
Well, it's old, but it's comfortable, so.
Thank you, Claire.
Good night, Michelle.
Well, this is so bad.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
Next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy.
Tell me. Do you bleed?
Fine. Then we'll have to do this the hard way.
Did you just boot my stroller?
Nicholas Wilde, you are under arrest.
For what? Hurting your feelings?
Felony tax evasion. Yeah, $200 a day, 365 days a year. Since you were 12, that's 2 decades, so times 20, which is 1,460,000, I think. I mean, I am just a dumb bunny, but we are good at multiplying.
There's Paris.
If she goes to Northwestern, she'll stay in Chicago.
Please, oh please. Let's go over there.
No.
Right.
There she is! Did you invite the family?
I told my ma.
I want you to be a dental hygienist, a mother working 2 days a week. Perfect.
Paris, be a hairdresser, like me.
Ian, look.
Right, let's have a look at you. Open the glove box, please. Take out that whole contraption. You've got to untangle the wires. Take your shirt off, please. Open up there. Yeah, those. Plug the jacks in there. Yeah, in there. So, your name's Henry, and... Okay, well, the good news is that you're going to live a while. The bad news is that in this case, a while means 20, 30 minutes tops, Henry. Unless you're very, very lucky. There's some clothes in there, put the hoodie on.
For my final word, I want to talk about one of the most annoying TV creators of the modern era, Chuck Lorre. Whether it's making fun of nerds, the fat, or the womanizing for a joke, a show by Chuck Lorre can be promised to be an uneventful trog through the worst slime that human creativity has to offer. And this is the same world where Chrisley Knows Best has more than one season. It's amazing that actors like Charlie Sheen and even Melissa McCarthy have their names tied to these projects at one time or another, and yet you're just left scratching your head wondering, when did we as a human race go wrong? I'll tell you where. When we had him come up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song. That's right, the same man that executive produced a show about teenage pregnancy and drug addiction came up with a catchy tune for young adult turtles and their pizza-covered shenanigans. Sitcoms can be engaging, powerful works. They can make you feel something, and a good one doesn't need a laugh track to make you laugh. If you look back at even older shows like Frasier or its predecessor Cheers, take out the laugh track, and the jokes in those shows are legitimately funny. We even have shows today like Parks and Rec or The Office that can still invoke laughter, again, without a laugh track. And yet most of those most successful people on television still hangs on the crutch of a laugh track to tell the 55-plus crowd when they should laugh to understand their grandkids better. Chuck Lorre, I beseech you to please stop making shows. You are making Americans as a collective dumber, and while we all enjoy Screenwriting 101, I find it hard to believe you ever passed.
For my final word, I want to talk about the story that happened before Snow White. Set to come to theaters on April 22nd, The Huntsman: Winter's War is already looking far better and more entertaining than Snow White and the Huntsman. This film is set up as a prequel and tells the tale of two sisters, Ravina and Freya, played by Charlize Theron and Emily Blunt, betrayed by her evil sister Ravina. Heartbroken Freya retreats to a northern kingdom to raise an army of huntsmen as her protectors. Gifted with the ability to freeze her enemies in ice, Freya teaches her young soldiers to never fall in love. When Eric, played by Chris Hemsworth, and fellow warrior Sarah defy this rule, the angry queen does whatever she can to stop them. As war between the siblings escalate, Eric and Sarah unite with Freya to end Ravina's wicked reign. The movie, directed by Cedric Nicholas Troyan, is action-packed and has the potential to tell an epic love story. I'm excited to see how Universal tells this story and if it'll be a hit or miss in the box office.
And that wraps up our show for this week. Be sure to check out our website, Facebook, and Twitter pages for news and updates on all things entertainment. I'm Aiden Hall.
And I'm Sunny Clark. We'll see you next time.